To write a book, I have to be totally immersed in my fictional world. As a result, I spend most of my days at my computer. So when I get a chance to reconnect with the world, I love walking, love being in nature. Whenever I can, I get out into the countryside and walk. I love what the outdoor world does for me. It helps me to be present, to stop thinking. I get fresh air into my lungs and I get to move. Today, I'm walking in spectacular County Kerry. I'm doing 2 walks, one along the Kerry Way on the Dingle Peninsula from Ventry to Donquin. And for the second walk, I'm heading to majestic Killarney, where I'm going to do a walk that crosses a variety of landscapes, from forest to grassland to lakeside. My name is Cathy Kelly, and this is my Tracks and Trails. Kerry is one of Ireland's most visual counties. It's on the wild Atlantic Way and has everything from scenic inland vistas and trails to gorgeous seaside walks. It has national parks, hundreds of kilometres of shoreline and postcard-like inland walks and trails. Today I am starting my walk in Ventry. The terrain is going to be very different. I'm going to have to walk on roads, the beach and some very steep climbs, but I'm ready for it. I have got my boots, I've got my bag with my provisions, my wet gear, ready to go. Really looking forward to it. I'm starting on the Dingle Peninsula. I'm walking from Ventry over Slea Head to finish at Dunquin Harbour, which overlooks the historic Blasket Islands. My starting point today is Ventry. It's only 8 kilometres from Dingle town and is easily accessible by car or by public transport. Ventry is a Gaeltacht area, and in Irish, Ventry is Fionn Trá, which means white beach, and it's on this white beach where my journey starts today. The first few kilometres are shoreside, and then I move onto the trail itself. Trails heading upwards now, bit of a climb ahead of me. This part of Ireland is steeped in history and culture. It's known for its traditional music, its folklore, its love of the Irish language, and of course, its love of GAA. The hills here are peppered with old farmsteads, famine villages, and 7th century beehive huts. To my left are the Blasket Islands, which provide some of Ireland's richest history. The trail I'm following today will walk me through 1,200 years of this history. I'm meeting Liadain Slattery. Liadain is the trails officer from this area, and she knows this part of County Kerry like the back of her hand.
So this is the Dingle Wave. It runs from Dingle to Donquin. So it's about 18 kilometres. This section here is the piece that runs up over Slea Head and into Donquin. Down below us here, you can see like there's a huge network of old beehive huts. So there was farmers in this area from the 12th to 14th century, back that far. And the remnants of them are all over the place. So you can still, like some of the beehive huts that are close to the road, you can access them and you can visit them. And then there's other ones just dotted around. And the old stone walls are still there as well, which are really beautiful and they're totally unique.
That's what I love, the sense that people, we love the land. You have your bit and you have your stone wall built right up the mountain, it's wonderful.
The Dingle Peninsula is very unique in that we have huge amount of archaeology, history, culture, I think, and the Irish language is very strong in the Gaeltacht region here. And I think that unique culture, that is something that draws people here, you know, that experience, that welcome, that uniqueness that they get from the people here, I think that makes them want to come back, hopefully, over and over again. I think the secret is just to come here and to stop and to slow down and, you know, spend time walking or doing these things on a much slower pace.
Like it's a magical way of life you found down here, and you want to say to people, come, share it with us.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it about Dingle that keeps bringing people back?
Obviously you have loads and loads of fantastic walks, and that's what we're doing today. But apart from that, like you have the sea and the islands and fishing and, you know, archaeology and history. There's amazing places to stay, restaurants and cafes and things like that.
And the music scene, the
And the
pubs
music
and
at
the
night.
live music scene.
So you can do lots or you can come and do nothing. So we're almost in Donquin. We just have to go over the hill here. You'll see the Coumeenole Beach below you and you'll see the rest of the Blasket Islands, and I'm going to be going this way.
Thank you for your wisdom, and I
No
will see you
problem.
again in
Yeah, we
Dingle.
will, for sure, for sure, for sure.
This is just incredible. I'm looking down on one of the most famous scenes in Irish life. The beautiful Blasket Islands are spread in front of me. We've got the beach down there where Ryan's Daughter was filmed, and what an incredible place, breathtaking. I'm winding my way down the other side of Slea Head, moving towards Dunquin Harbour. From here on, it's downhill all the way. This part of the Kerry coast is iconic, known for film locations such as Ryan's Daughter and most recently, Star Wars. Before the movies, though, this part of Kerry was famous for another type of storytelling. The Blasket Islands has one of the highest ratios of published writers and storytellers per capita than any other part of the world, making it one of Ireland's most important heritage sites. I'm meeting Lorcan O'Cinada, whose family came from the Blaskets, to find out more.
Hi, Cathy.
Hello, Lorcan. How are you? Lovely to meet you.
I do. You're very welcome to Donquin and the Blasket Islands.
You're the man who's the expert on these beautiful islands in front of us. Tell us a little bit about them.
And what you see out here is the great Blasket Island closest to you, the largest of the Blasket Islands, Inishvicalan on the far horizon on the left, the Tíreacht, the pyramid out on the horizon. This is Inishtuishkert, or the sleeping giant, as they call it, just out here, and a few of the smaller islands, Begganish and Ilan and Og. And that's the Blasket Archipelago, yeah, it's a fantastic place.
Amazing history, though. I mean, they've been inhabited, well, the Great Blasket, for a long time, but since 1953, then that ended.
That's right. The islands were evacuated in '53. The population had dropped a great deal due to emigration, and really life became unsustainable there. And the remaining population were evacuated onto the mainland here. The story of the island as we know it, that's celebrated in the literature, all comes from that community of people, up to 180, I think, at the max, who lived there. The Great Blasket was a very tough place to live. First of all, it was very isolated. They had no electricity, they had no running water. They had very small, self-built houses. They came over and back this 3 miles or 4 kilometres of a Blasket Sound in their Navoga, their Currachs. And there was many weeks when you couldn't cross there and that they were cut off. They lived off the land and they lived off the sea. So they managed, but by our standards today, it was a very, very tough and, you know, you would say poverty-stricken life.
There've been a massive amount of writers from the Blaskets.
As part of the Gaelic revival, there was a big interest in the island. And I suppose that was the first time that the islanders began to understand that there was something significant in their own story. You take it that there were 30 houses on the island. Out of 17 of those houses, there are island authors. And I think it's extraordinary that we have that social history and literature from such a tiny community. And I think that as time goes on, the importance of that gets even greater. You know, knowing where you came from is really important about knowing where you're going.
Lorcan, thank you so much. It was so wonderful hearing about the Blaskets.
It's been a great pleasure for me sharing it with you, and come again.
I will come again.
I'm gonna head off.
Dunquin Harbour is an iconic Irish harbour. It's a steep climb down, and remember, you'll have to walk back up, but it's worth it. And it's a perfect place to finish this walk. I've just had the most amazing day walking part of the Dingle Way. I've walked on beaches, I've walked on steep climbs, and I've ended up here looking out onto one of Ireland's most scenic vistas, the Blasket Islands. Completely incredible. Learned so much history today. It's out there for everyone. Get on your boots, get walking.